I might have gained some kind of ability, Ren Xiaosu stated, sitting at the entrance of the shanty and gazing at the starry sky after the rain. Yan Luyuan was taken aback. You mean, I'm not quite sure yet, I need to test it? Ren Xiaosu sat next to Yan Luyuan on the ground. The town is filled with rumors that some people can make a train drive from nothingness into reality. I didn't believe it until I met you. Now I might have a strange ability too, it's a peculiar feeling. Yan Luyuan's ability was luck.it was a baffling ability. When Yan Luyuan wished for Ren Xiaosu to hunt successfully, even if Ren Xiaosu did nothing in the wilderness, sparrows would inexplicably fall in front of him. However, this ability had a backlash, usually manifested as Yan Luyuan having a high fever or other minor illnesses after making a wish. This was the initial reason Ren Xiaosu protected Yan Luyuan. He didn't believe it at first, but he couldn't deny it later on. Suddenly, a shooting star streaked across the sky. Yan Luyuan instinctively wanted to make a wish, but Ren Xiaosu stopped him. Don't make a wish recklessly, it could lead to trouble. Nowadays, Ren Xiaosu rarely relied on Yan Luyuan's luck. He said it was because he could hunt on his own, and Yan Luyuan never contradicted him. The thin Yan Luyuan stared at the disappeared shooting star, lost in thought. Why do shooting stars fly so fast? What if everyone doesn't have time to make a wish? Ren Xiaosu thought for a moment and said, maybe it flies so fast because it doesn't want to hear your wishes. Yan Luyuan turned his head and stared at Ren Xiaosu. Yan Luyuan was Ren Xiaosu's night watchman, but it didn't mean he had to stay up all night. Ren Xiaosu would take turns with him. After all, Yan Luyuan had to go to school during the day. This situation was tormenting, lack of sleep was a major issue. But living in such an environment, neither Ren Xiaosu nor Yan Luyuan had a choice. In the early morning, Ren Xiaosu took Yan Luyuan out. They carried all their valuable possessions, even his big iron pot. Unsurprisingly, when they returned to their shanty in the evening, it was always rummaged through. I heard that in the refuge stronghold, doors are never closed at night, and no one steals anything, Yan Luyuan said, carrying his bedding roll and watching Ren Xiaosu carry the big iron pot everywhere. This was practically all their belongings. On school days, Yan Luyuan had to carry his bedding with him, just like the other students. Everyone was used to it. Bullshit, Ren Xiaosu, although yearning for the life inside the refuge stronghold, firmly disbelieved that there are places in the world where doors are never closed at night. Some people think that even the farts of the people inside the stronghold smell sweet, and the air is sweet. But you can't always carry the pot around, Yan Luyuan said. What do you know, Ren Xiaosu explained, I found this pot with great difficulty. It can be used for cooking and catching sparrows. If we lose it, how can we survive? Ren Xiaosu carried the iron pot on his shoulder with one hand and held the giant sparrow with the other. As he walked down the street, many people cast envious glances at him. In the current order of species, humans are no longer at the top of the food chain. People have been saying that sparrows used to be smaller than a palm. Now, they can peck a person to death with one bite. Not everyone has the ability or patience to catch sparrows, and it's been years since anyone has seen meat. It would be a lie to say they weren't envious of Ren Xiaosu. Ren Xiaosu took Yan Luyuan to the city gate of the refuge stronghold. The towering walls were extremely oppressive. As they got closer to the stronghold, the buildings became cleaner, neater, and richer. The people living here all had some connection with the stronghold, either they were good at flattering or they still had relatives inside. But no matter what, the refugees, collectively referred to as contaminated, couldn't enter the stronghold. Ren Xiaosu walked into a house. The sign on the door read, grocery store. They sold cigarettes, matches, ironware, food, and clothing, but the prices were all very high. The old man in the house was particularly pleased to see Ren Xiaosu. This sparrow looks quite big. Ren Xiaosu threw the sparrow on the glass counter. How much? Hey, be gentle, this glass is valuable, Old Wang said worriedly. Then he casually threw the sparrow onto the iron scale next to him. 3 pounds and 6 taels, not bad, Xiaosu. At that moment, the abacus in Old Wang's hand started to click. His chicken claw-like withered hand moved like it was wound up, making the abacus ring. Today's market price is 200 per pound, so for you, it's 700. No, Ren Xiaosu insisted, winter is coming and sparrows are scarce, no less than 900. Old Wang was not pleased. He pushed the abacus in front of Ren Xiaosu. We're selling this to the nobles inside the stronghold. They are short of meat, but there's a limit to everything. We have to follow the rules. As soon as he finished speaking, Old Wang saw Ren Xiaosu turn around with the sparrow, ready to leave. He quickly grabbed the sleeve of Ren Xiaosu's worn-out coat. Where are you going? I'm going to ask about the prices at Old Li's grocery store, Ren Xiaosu said. Old Wang's grip tightened. Today, the manager in the stronghold had specifically ordered to collect game, and this news was not only known to him. Old Wang broke into a wide smile and said, how much do you want to sell it for? Ren Xiaosu still wanted to leave. I'll ask about the prices first. Old Wang smiled very kindly. Wouldn't that delay Liu Yuan's school time? Alright, 900 it is. What did you just say? Ren Xiaosu asked calmly. Wouldn't that delay, one sentence before that. How much do you want to sell it for? 1200, Old Wang. After a while, Old Wang counted the money with a heartache, licking his fingers and counting it over and over again, afraid that he might have miscounted. The final transaction price was 1198. Ren Xiaosu also made his concession. A sparrow sold for 1198, not because the price was inflated, nor solely because the sparrow was big, but mainly because ordinary game was not available in refuge number 113. What is rare is expensive. Old Wang wouldn't make a loss. This sparrow could be sold to someone powerful and influential for a small profit, and he could also curry some favor. Old Wang reluctantly stuffed a pile of small change into Ren Xiaosu's hand. Suddenly, he seemed to remember something and lowered his voice. Xiaosu, next time you catch a sparrow, don't kill it directly. Some nobles want it alive, the price is higher. Ren Xiaosu was stunned. Why do they want it alive? To kill it on the spot? No, Old Wang shook his head, you wouldn't understand. Some people want to keep sparrows as pets.